up your engine! Well, here we go. It turns out that the Tesla Model X has a flaw that allows people to steal it. There was a computer geek, and of course he figured out with his equipment how to steal one. He bought about $300 in computer hardware and a part for a Tesla that he bought on eBay. And he was able to encrypt, get in open, and drive the thing away. One thing that's crucial to this, he needs the VIN number of the vehicle. Well, when you look through the windshield in most cars, there's the VIN number. For anybody with a keyless ignition system, it's best for you to cover up that VIN number. Put a piece of black tape or whatever you want. Cover the VIN number out. Now, it's also in the door jamb, but you got to open the door. And if the door is locked, they can't do it. They need that VIN number. So if you cover the VIN number up, very good idea. Anybody with a keyless ignition system, cover the VIN number up so people can't steal your car. When you don't have a key, it's all done electronically. And you know the computer nerds, they're always going to figure out a way to bypass that system. So if you cover up that, they don't get that information. Plus, if you're worried about people getting in and out of your car, when you use that remote to open the door, you might do like some people do. You can buy shielded pieces that go over your remote, so it only goes forward, and then they can't pick it up as easy. You don't want people to get that kind of information, but everybody, you can cover up your VIN number, then they can't read it and know what information that the computer's going to need. That VIN number says a lot. You cover it up, they don't have it, hey, guess what? They're going to go from your car to the next one. You always want to thwart thieves by making your car harder to steal than the other ones are. Well, I always like station wagons. It turns out Volkswagen is going to be the first company to mass-produce electric station wagons. Going to do it here in Tennessee, in Chattanooga. It's called the ID Space Vision. Now, I don't know what it is with Volkswagen. They need to get some snappier names, ID.4. This is ID Space Vision. I mean, come on. Get a better name than that, Volkswagen. I mean, the Germans certainly aren't known for creative names. Even their language sounds kind of guttural. I'm 90% German, so I know a lot about that. Get a better name, Volkswagen. Come on. But I like the idea of a station wagon. I grew up with station wagons. I used to have a Toyota Camry station wagons that the kids loved. You could carry people around. Bring back the station wagon. And Volkswagen's going to do it in 2023. They say they're going to have a 300-mile range. That's good. And they have an interior called apple skin that's made from old apple parts. It's a vegan interior that's made from the leftover parts when they make apple juice. I guess you got to do something with it. Most places feed the pigs or something or cows, but they're going to make the interior out of that partially. Let's hope that it isn't a mistake like some of the soy-based stuff that I've seen where the bugs eat it. And maybe you get in there and you find out your seats are all eaten up because the bugs thought, oh, it's apple, let's eat it. And you come in, your seats are full of bugs and holes. Like a rotten apple. Well, a hole where the worm went in. Now, it's going to be based on Volkswagen's MEB platform. The thing about electric cars are they can have a pretty much skateboard platform, and then they can put whatever bodies they want on it, which, of course, makes production cheaper, makes it so that repair will be easier because they'll share a lot of similar parts. I mean, that's the one thing about the Germans. Originally, their cars were basic, and they shared a lot of parts. So you didn't have to search all around for parts, and they didn't waste money reinventing the wheels. So you got a tie rod that works for steering. Why redesign it? It screws on one end and the other one bolts to the control arm with this electric car platform. That makes the most sense. And all the other guys are doing it too. Rivian with electric trucks in Michigan, they're making platform stuff too. It only makes sense. So they're going to have electric station wagons in 2023 and Volkswagen's going to be the one putting them out. I'll bet if electric cars get more popular, they're going to make a lot of money on that one because people always like station wagons. There's a lot of room. And a lot of people are probably by then going to rebel against this SUV thing and go back to a station wagon, which is even handier, of course. A lot of the SUVs are basically modified station wagons, especially like the Subarus. I mean, they look like station wagons, half of them, just like they squashed them down. Well, bring them back out so they got more room for more people. Well, I guess if it was going to happen, it's going to happen in China. Kentucky Fried Chicken rolled out self-driving trucks that serve Kentucky Fried Chicken in China. Of course, with the coronavirus, these things are serving up contract-free fried chicken. And they're driverless trucks. They drive themselves. Yeah. It's a combination of a company called Neoflix and Yum Yum Brands, which owns Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a have tried this out. The trucks are driving themselves and serving fried chicken to people. Now they're serving up chicken. They also got a deal with Pizza Hut. They're going to be making pizzas, but I guess pizzas are more complex to make than fried chicken with a machine. Now all I got to say is let's hope that the fried chicken from these self-driving machines tastes better than the coffee that comes out of coffee machines, because the coffee that comes out of coffee machines tastes like garbage. Let's hope they got this figured out so the chicken tastes good. The customers make a selection through screens. They can pay versus a QR code or whatever, and then a little door opens and you get your chicken. I'd like to taste it to see if it was any good, I mean, somebody's going to have to maintain these machines. They're not going to fix themselves, right? And what happens when they run out of chicken? Who knows? But they just started doing it. So, if you're in China, you see one of those Kentucky Fried Chicken trucks driving itself around, you want some chicken, hey, I'd give it a try just to see what it was like. And the way the Chinese have it set up, there's no one inside preparing the food. It's done automated too, so it'll be kind of interesting. Maybe it'll cook the chicken too much. You'll get black chicken or raw chicken. Who knows? And nobody knows if this is going to catch on, but the Chinese are trying it out. Who knows? It may become a real popular thing, Go to the truck that makes fried chicken without human beings involved. Don't have to worry about viruses. It's the machine doing the whole thing. As long as they're cleaned out good, there's no people coming in and infecting other than the door opening and people grabbing the stuff. I suppose even that would be something you'd have to think about. But since they just started doing it, well, I'd like to see how it pans out in the future. But for now, they got roaming Kentucky Fried Chicken trucks driving themselves and making fried chicken and serving them to people. NYPD captain says, I got a 2016 Jeep Patriot new. We use it for our security company. Water leaks from the dome light above the dash. The car is a mess. Thought it was a windshield, but after research, I found it's a common problem. I went to Jeep. They had no clue. What do you think? I think that you should have listened to Scotty in the first place. I've been telling people not to buy those Jeeps because the product quality is poor. They don't make them right. They don't stand behind them. And then they say, oh, we don't know what's going on. They know those things are leaking. They just don't want to stand behind it. They try to hide all that stuff. Poor quality. Just plain old poor quality. They don't make them right. There's a leak coming up there, and it's coming from somewhere, and they know it because a lot of them are doing that. I had customers with them that are leaking like that. I personally would go back to Jeep and say, look, fix it. Fix it free. And if they refuse, write letters to Chrysler. Get people, other people that have them involved and saying, what is this nonsense? You guys don't build these things right. Now, if they don't care enough and Fiat Chrysler doesn't care, you have to vote with your money. And that is, never buy another one. Tell them you will never buy another one of their products. Tell all your friends never to buy one of their products. And eventually, if no one buys their products, they'll either go out of business or they will make them better. Now, since it's Fiat Chrysler, well, Fiat's been making horrible vehicles for decades. I don't think they really care at all. So you probably won't get anywhere, but if you don't buy one the next time, you're not going to have that problem. Now, to find where a leak's coming from, especially a roof leak, it's not that complex. You can get like a bucket of water, and they make various dyes, and you can put dye in the water and then pour it on, and when you see that color, you'll know exactly where it's coming from. Obviously, they probably didn't weld the seams or something right, and it's leaking, and they just don't want to stand behind it because that's the way of Chrysler. They've always been that way. Even when I was young, in the 1960s, they had problems that they didn't want to talk about, and they didn't stand behind them. And back in those days, they didn't have too many recalls. Now they do, but even when they do, they fight it tooth and nail because they don't want to spend any money fixing something for free. I'd go and I'd complain like that and tell them that Scotty said, hey, fix it. Or Scotty's going to tell even more bad things about Chrysler products. And maybe eventually we can get them to make better products. But as I say, since Fiat owns them, you might be holding your breath until you're dead on that one. Daniel 10234 says, Scotty, I lost my vehicle in a wreck. I'm looking for another vehicle. What should I avoid? And should I look for a used vehicle at a fancy dealership or a small used car lot? I don't know much about cars. Okay, well, the problem is you buy at any car lot, you're going to overpay. You go to a small used car lot, sometimes they buy a car and they charge 3 to 4 times what they paid for it. So it's best to avoid those guys. Unless it's somebody you know, that you know people bought cars from and they got a good deal. There's a few guys out there, but not many. The large dealers always charge too much. You'll never get a deal from one of those guys. Better to go Craigslist and find local stuff and ask your local mechanics. If you or your friends know good mechanics, go there and say, you know anybody selling a good car? And that's the best way to get a car. That's how I sold my mother's car. She can't drive anymore in Niagara Falls, and I just sent it to the guy that she had fixed at the gas station down the street. And he sold it and got a fair price, and his customer, one of his customers, bought it and got a great deal. deal on a Toyota Corolla that only had 75,000 miles on it. So that's the best way to buy. Go to any dealer, used dealer, or big dealer. They're all going to charge too much for used cars. It's just how the world goes. Try to find it locally with friends or a mechanic who knows people. You can get a much better deal that way, because you're never going to get a very good deal at any of the dealers. They're pros. They make a living selling cars, making as much profit as they possibly can. And of course, especially if you're borrowing money from them, you're going to pay 2 to 3 times what the vehicle's worth, because they're taking a risk letting you take the car and you're paying them by the month. And you're always going to pay way too much of that. If you got cash, you can pay a cash card. That's the best way to go. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.